Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're starting our hearing. Welcome to our July 22nd, 2025 Code Enforcement Board hearing. Please, at this time, I need for everyone to silence your devices. If you have to take a call or you got to speak to one another in here, please step outside in the hallway or go downstairs. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. The people in the line, you can stand and you can raise your right hand. Okay. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Board.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, as she said, the July edition of the Code Enforcement Board. My name is Terry Nolan. I am the chairperson of the committee, and I will let my fellow board members introduce themselves, starting here.
My name is Justin Beecham.
Don McCartney.
Alex Schneider.
Ed Murphy.
Jackie Shaw.
Carlos Lang.
Kimberly Smith, panel attorney.
Right. So that's our volunteers up here. If you all wanted to get involved in the community, you can talk to your representative and get involved in the community. With that said, let's begin.
Our first case is on page 14. Property address 1333 Northeast 1st Ave. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Case number BE 2407-0060. Owner, Jonathan Edward Brates. Notice posted at the property on 6/16/25. Notice posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25. 2 comply by 3/25/25. 1 section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf, Inspector Martinez for the city. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Brates. I'm the homeowner. So for the last 8 months, I've been going back and forth with the engineer at the building department. Taken a lot of time. The drawings are currently in compliance. However, I don't comply with stormwater runoff storage. So I have to hire a civil engineer to spec out an exfiltration trench to get the driveway into compliance. So I'm asking for another 2-month or 60-day extension to get that done.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You said you wanted another 2 months extension?
Correct.
City want to post a 63-day extension.
Move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 1. Senior Inspector Preston Mark. Property address 2001 Northwest 62nd Street. Owner, Capital Cypress LLC. Case number BE 2503-0071. Notice posted at the property on 5/27/25. Notice posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard on 7/8/25.
Good morning. Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits. It included the interior build-out for an MRI service involving framing, drywall, mechanical work, and electrical work. The case was opened 3/8/25, inspection report mailed 3/27/25, and the notice was mailed 5/13/2025. I visited this property and was able to gain access from the property manager and tenant, Mr. Roland Grass. During my inspection, I visually observed that the unit number 103 was split into 2 separate areas involving the framing of 2 or 3 doors with drywall to accommodate a new floor plan. The tenant has already installed several pieces of equipment and a chiller, which required a mechanical and electrical permit. Our records show no permits were pulled for this work. The city is requesting that the board find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 114 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 a day thereafter. The respondent is here to speak.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
How about now?
Yes.
All right, we're off to a great start. Good morning, board members. My name is Andrew Ingalls. I'm an attorney with Dave Pitney LLP, and I represent the property owner, Capital Cypress. This is a commercial tenancy property. We do have a tenant within the property that is West Imaging Center. As soon as my client received the notice, they sent out a demand letter to the tenant, as they are the one responsible for the ongoing violations as well as remediation. The tenant was non-responsive, and I was then retained to send a demand letter. And it's gotten to the point of non-responsiveness that I have had to threaten eviction. That seems to have gotten their attention. We have received architectural plans signed by an architect saying that they are going to remediate these violations. I've spoken with Mr. Mark, and he was nice enough to say that we would have 114 days to bring the property into compliance. I do believe that is sufficient for the alleged violations outlined in the letter. One thing that was just brought to my attention is an issue of subdivision, wherein these properties, or this unit rather, is being treated as 2 units and needs to be properly subdivided, and that needs to be coordinated with the city of Fort Lauderdale. So we will begin our efforts on that front as well, and hopefully I'll be back here in 114 days to tell you how everything is in compliance, and you can move on to another property that's in violation.
Any questions, anybody?
Any questions?
So how long do you need?
Mr. Mark offered 114 days to bring the property into compliance, after which a violation of $100 per day will occur.
Is the tenant here right now?
Oh, that's news to me. So if you want to hear from the tenant, I will step aside.
Yes, already hired an architect as they require, and I send that to them. So unfortunately, we're running behind because myself have issues, family problems. My mom passed away, so I was not taking care in accordingly. But I already have the architect working on the architectural plan that they require. So yes, we rented a suite 103. So basically, I have very issues to obtain the business tax, occupational license, because the suite 103 as they require, and the lease agreement is not legally registered and for Lauderdale City. So that's why they're asking the architectural plan so that they can legalize or register the suite 103 that I'm renting and the property 2001. But I request an extension if it's possible, because if I can give it to you guys, so we have the architect working in the plan in order to follow up, requiring the permit that we need.
So I have a question. Prior to starting work, how come you didn't submit any permits to do this work?
They probably submit the permit, the application in this week, because we have issued to obtain the survey and the microfilm from the landlord. So I have to come to the city to obtain the documentation that the architect really need. So basically, the way submit is a unprofessional floor plan that they did for the subdivision that was not done at the very beginning. So that's why we need to make the subdivision of the space, because they're still renting the other side of the property to a different tenant. So I don't feel responsible to make a business tax for the entire 10,000 square feet if they rent to different tenants. Okay. So that's why I got issued to obtain the occupational license since about 6 months. So I'm still working on it. So they told me to do the occupational license to the entire lot, but they said I'm renting only 3,500 square feet, so I can't do, be responsible liability for the entire 10 or 15,000 square
So
feet.
I understand, but I'm seeing generators, I'm seeing MIR machines. Is it common practice not to submit, start this work without submitting permits?
Well, we need to go to obtain the permit for the installation. But we do the shielding by the GE and Philips requirement. So my engineer is working, so we have everything from Philips and from GE to install the machine. So the shielding is not working. It is outside because it was one of the requirements that we make an agreement with the landlord. So if we can install the shielding outside, they say yes, and then that's why we bring the shielding to the outside, bro. So I would really appreciate if we got an extension to keep working on the process.
So I'm just not understanding so the subdivision was done before you came in as the tenant?
They told us that we need to do the subdivision, and that we did the subdivision.
So you're leasing the whole space?
Who told you that?
The landlord. I mean, the management property company. So I thought that they need to make the subdivision to rent my space, but so they said, no, there's something that you need to do on your own. So I just divide one word because it was almost, divided in the survey plan that they gave me at the beginning. So everything is taken behind because actually when I went to the city to obtain my occupational license at the very beginning, Suite 103, when the space that they rented to me, it was not registered in the city. So, and it was back and forward with the property management, with the city. So it took a very long time to obtain that. At this moment, we're still waiting. They're waiting for us to do the architectural plan so they can do the subdivision, legalize everything. It's something that they probably need to do at the very beginning if they're going to, rent in 3 different spaces.
Yeah, that's my
to the
understanding.
landlords.
I'll go ahead and put a motion to give you time to figure this out and get it subdivided, and I'll go with what the city's recommending. I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $100 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have your days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you communicate with the inspector. Right.
Our next case is on page 8. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 2855 West Commercial Boulevard. Owner, Lauderdale Commercial Boulevard Partners, LLC. Case number BE 25040071. Notice posted at the property on 6/18/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 5/27/25 to comply by 6/11/25. One section at $1,000 per day. Order recorded, not complied. $40,000, which continues to accrue.
Hello, my name is Ariel Grossfeld. I am the attorney at Abrams Law Firm representing Lauderdale Commercial Boulevard Partners, LLC. We are respectfully asking for a continuance to the next board hearing because the attorneys of record are at trial, especially due to the convoluted nature of the case, the procedural history, and the irregularities from city staff. So we are asking for continuance to the next board meeting.
Well, any questions, board members?
If they get the continuance, does the fine still accrue? Is it still $1,000 a day?
Yes, they would unless the board sorry, over here. Sorry, good morning. Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Apologies for that. So yes, the fines would continue to accrue unless the board decides otherwise, which is within your discretion to do so.
A question. Are there any public or safety issues at this time?
No, I believe there are only just 2 outstanding minor permits.
What are those permits?
If we could maybe hear an update, maybe probably better in order from the inspector as to what's transpired from the last hearing.
Good morning. Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the City, presenting case and address as read. This case is not complied. We conducted an on-site inspection of this facility on 7/14/2025. We walked through the units in question and determined that it would be necessary for the contractor to submit an applications for plumbing and electrical. We also determined that the contractor should void the existing structural permit that he has submitted already. So as of now, the contractor has submitted applications for both plumbing and electrical. The structural permit has not been voided, and both permits that are submitted, they require additional documents and more information.
Okay.
Is the building currently occupied?
Yes.
Is it
The building is, but not the particular units. And just so the board knows, I was also present at the walkthrough inspection. So we in great detail discussed with other council, of course, that were present, and the general contractor, representative from the general contractor, our assistant building official, the inspector, and actually someone from planning and zoning to just try to, and other staff to try to holistically and make it very clear what needed to be obtained, what didn't need to be obtained. So that's where we're at now. I told counsel of record that I certainly was not going to object to the motion to continue. I mean, if they're in trial, obviously they're in trial. It wasn't mentioned when we did the site visit on the 14th, but it came up Friday afternoon. I guess they anticipated it was going to settle, and it didn't. So, you know, that's why we're here now, and that's why representatives from the firm have asked for a continuance.
What is the inspector's recommendation?
We're going to leave it to the board.
Yeah, I would like to leave it to the board to make a recommendation.
I motion that we grant the respondent a continuance. You said you needed it until next meeting, correct?
Yes.
A 35-day continuance, at which time the fines will continue to accrue.
I'll second that motion.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 35 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 16. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1430 Northwest 22nd Court. Owner, Josette Moise. Case number BE24080011. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, updating case. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Josette Moise.
Good. You can speak.
I uploaded my application yesterday, so I'm here. Like, I can ask for extension.
Yes, the permit was applied, and I've been in contact with the complainants. The city is requesting a 63-day extension.
I'll move for a 63-day extension.
I'll second that.
All those in favor of a 63-day extension say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 15. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2601 Southwest 13th Ave. Owner, ALF Heroes LLC. Case number BE24070087. Notice posted at the property on 6/17/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. Two sections at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
What?
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, updating case. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Is it on now? All right. Bradley Yuck, attorney for the property owner. We were here 4 months ago and started the process of obtaining a contractor to get the permits. Took about 3 weeks to find a contractor that the property owner liked, and then 2 months to track down the person who did the original work. So that's where the delay was, but once we found that contractor, got the pricing, all the work completed, we submitted permits about a month ago. Then the person at the permitting place that we're working with quit, and we didn't find out until a few weeks ago. But the permits have been submitted, been in contact with Inspector Martinez, and we're requesting 63 days for an extension to get these permits approved and to get the property in compliance.
City won't oppose to 63-day extension.
I'll move for a 63-day extension.
Second that.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days. You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 16. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1016 Northeast 17th Court. Case number BE 2408-0030. Owner, Mazina and Nisaj Tiana. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, updating case. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Kenny. I'm Nisaj Tiana's son. I paid for the AC contractor to come out there to do the permits. He told me he's going to have it filed by Thursday because we was waiting for the land survey. That's it. So he said by Thursday he'll have the permit filed.
Have you been in contact with the inspector?
No, I didn't get it. No, I wasn't. Not this time. Not this.
Not recently, but yes, they have been in contact before.
What's the city's recommendation?
63-day extension.
I move for a 63-day extension.
I'll second.
All those in favor of a 63-day extension say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
63 days.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 1440 Southwest 30th Street. Owner Rodriguez Ferrero Investments, Inc. Case number BE 2308-0390. Notice posted at the property on 6/18/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 5/28/24 to comply by 7/30/24. One section at $50 per day, not complied. One section at $50 per day, complied. Order recorded. Fines imposed. The city is requesting to impose fines of $5,600, which continues to accrue. There are 4 extensions noted.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not compliant. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning. My name is Luis Garcia. We already submit plans and permits to the city. We are doing the inspections right now, so we are asking for an extension for 63 days to finish the inspection and the certificate of occupation. Thank you.
The city doesn't oppose to 63 days extension and stop the fines.
Inspector, has the respondent been moving fast enough to the building department's liking?
Yes, all the permits are already issued, and he's requesting inspections.
Okay.
And the second violation is the certificate of occupancy. For that one, he needs to pass all the inspections before the certificate is issued.
So it's a kind of a chicken and the egg kind of deal. All right.
I have a question. How many extensions are permitted?
We have the case, it has 4 extensions.
Thank you.
Oh, and so what's the city's recommendation again?
63 days extension. and stop the fines.
I motion that we give the respondent a 63-day extension and halt all fines.
Carlos Lang, I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 12. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1551 Northwest 6th Street. Owner 1551 Sis Trunk LLC. Case number BE 24030063. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. Two sections at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are two extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. So we had put a barrier up. My name's Kevin Rodriguez. We're B&D Trap. We're the ones that actually occupy the space for 1551, and I was given permission to speak on behalf of 1551 for this. So we actually put up our own barrier, sent pictures, and I think it was a certified, something with a seal on it that I had sent on Friday. On Monday, Jorge sent me an email from the gentleman that's actually, I guess, overseeing the case, saying that we didn't do it correctly. We needed permits, and he actually gave me a whole step-by-step a list of what we needed to do. So for the first time, the gentleman actually gave me steps on, what I needed to do in the actual process. So we're going to have to remove the barrier that we put in, and hopefully we can get it done in a timely manner because the barrier that we have now, I guess, is insufficient. And again, I haven't really spoke with Jorge that much. I sent him the email on Friday, but yeah, I'm just hoping that we can get one more extension to now that we have the information on the actual process, that we can actually get that started, knowing now that the barrier that we have in place won't work.
The city at this moment doesn't support an extension, and it requests for it to come back as a messy. Next time we'll deal with the fines if there are any.
So you're requesting that? Your city's suggesting that?
Come back as a messy.
35 days?
I mean, I'm good with an extension, but I don't think we should take it to a massy yet. Not just yet. I think we should give the gentleman.
So has any work been done for the electrical, the plumbing? Have the permits been submitted for that?
That's done, right? My understanding, yeah, that's
okay,
all.
So that's
all been taken care of. The only issue now is
the elevation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a problem that can be fixed?
So I think from my understanding, the main issue is, I mean, for us, it's going to cost quite a bit of money. When I reached out, I'll go ahead and Google like flood barrier. There's not a lot of companies. There's maybe like 2 companies in South Florida that do it, and they both don't want to do it. They said it's a pain, that they could actually make the flood barrier, but they do not want to go through the process of getting the permits and all those other things. So, for the time being, we thought it would be okay to do our own barrier. Obviously, it's not. But as I stated before, for the first time yesterday, I was actually given a step-by-step list from the other inspector. Other than up until then, I was just told, speak to my contractor or architect. Speak to my architect about it. And that was literally it. So I know I should probably be more proactive on, reaching out to them for the steps. But up until then, that's all the information that I was given. So I knew this was going to be an issue. Hopefully the flood barrier that we put up would have bought up some time. Obviously, it didn't. But, yeah, that's where we're at now.
Board, the floodplain manager is here,
Perfect.
so he can explain what.
Can we hear from him?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is Mark Haggerty. I'm the floodplain manager for the city of Fort Lauderdale. I'm happy to answer any questions. We would like to thank the gentleman for the steps that he's finally begun to take to resolve the issue. I don't know if you want any background on this. I know the case has already been adjudicated. Unfortunately, what has been installed doesn't meet the requirements for approval from FEMA. There is a floodproofing certificate that needs to be certified by the architect and engineer, and a permit required per the approved plans for this restaurant conversion. So we don't have the permit yet for the floodproofing, and we don't have the floodproofing certificate. So we're not opposed to an extension to allow them time to get the paperwork in order and to submit it to our office so we can prove to FEMA the building is in compliance.
And just to clarify, so obviously we're only speaking about the outside space where the smoker is. Now, if we were to remove the things out there, which we can't, it's vital to our operation, then it wouldn't be an issue, right?
The reason that the building was CO'd in the first place without the floodproofing is because there was nothing in that section at the time. The building was CO'd on the 8th of February, 2024. I have the documentation here. I personally did an inspection that day. That area was empty and the CO2 tank was raised up above the flood level on a stand, and I have photos to certify that. So that's why we CO'd the building, because they weren't using that area. Now they have brought in equipment. There's an ice machine in there. They've lowered back the CO2 machine. They brought in refrigerator, and they added a smoker. That area is 3 feet below the required elevation for, and that's why the case was brought forward here to this board. So again, we applaud them for taking the step of attempting to put a barrier up. It doesn't meet the requirements, so they need to take a step back if they need more time, as long as they're working on the problem to resolve it and provide us the documentation we need to prove to FEMA this project's in compliance. We have no problem with another extension.
Do we have any visuals of
what would you like to see, sir?
Just what it looks like? We're talking about it, and I don't kind of have an idea of what it is we're talking about.
I have a picture on my phone if you want to.
Yeah, I have pictures here. This is from the elevation certificate. This is the elevation certificate that was certified by the surveyor on the 2nd of February, 2024. And it has pictures showing the area in question. Photo 2 and photo 3 are those. They're hard to see because they're small, so I went ahead and blew them up for you so you could see the area in question.
That second page is the page where the CO2 is
Yes,
on
sir.
the stand.
The CO2 is on a stand. Yes, sir.
I got a question for the inspector. Is the respondent's plan to remedy the situation actually achievable? Are we just whistling Dixie here?
No, it is achievable if he takes the steps, because the approved plan was designed for floodproofing in the future. And page A115 of the approved plan for this to be built as a restaurant shows floodproofing by separate permit when they're ready to do that. So I also brought that for your review. So all we need him to do is to get the permit for the floodproofing and follow the steps required by page 6 of the floodproofing certificate, and then we'll be able to sign off on it.
And
now, he does need an architect or an engineer to get this permit, and that's what we have been discussing with him, to please engage a professional to help him through this process.
Inspector, do you think 63 days will be enough time for him to remedy the situation?
How long, sir?
63 days.
I think that 90 days would probably be more realistic.
Okay. I move for a 114-day extension.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What would you recommend would be the very first step that I take? Is it just reaching out to an architect, or is that the very first thing?
Just by you asking that question makes me lose confidence that you could actually, this is what I'm afraid of, man. I have no problem giving you more time. I'm afraid of seeing you in here 114 days. Hey, guys, we tried, but we struck out again.
I understand.
So
I
that's the
understand.
thing here. I mean, you asking these kind of questions makes me lose confidence that you could actually achieve what you're looking to do. And again, here, God bless you. You're trying to do it, but I think that 114 days from now, you're going to be saying, hey guys, we're still at square one here.
Yeah, but you've got the choice to either go forward with the flood remediation or take the equipment out.
Yeah, I wish we could take the equipment out. If we were to do that, then that would mean we wouldn't be operational. And that restaurant we also use to really provide all of the food for another location that we have, and then hopefully another location that they're soon to be opening up. But nevertheless, I know that the only answer really for us is getting the flood barrier, and just so you have a little bit of exposure into my point of things here is that, I'm just part of the brand that's occupying the space, and now I've been given kind of the responsibility of taking care of it because the landlord doesn't want to do it. So, maybe things would have been a little bit different if I knew that we had to go through all of these steps and processes, but unfortunately I didn't, and that falls on me, I guess.
So I have a question. So you said there are two companies in Broward or wherever.
But when I went on Google, yeah, and I was like almost begging the guy, the one that was actually responding, they didn't want to deal with it. They said it's a pain. They could provide the flood barrier. I think it was like a couple grand or something like that. But they don't want to deal with the permits. They don't want to deal with the city. They don't want to deal with any of this because it's just not. It's a headache for them, and they didn't want to do it. All they want to do is provide the actual barrier, and then as far as certificates and permits and all those other things that that we would have to kind of handle on our own.
If I may, to respond to that, there are shutter companies, window shutter companies that make flood barriers that do have that sort of response. They will manufacture the panel, but they won't take you through the whole process. However, there are multiple companies out there that specialize in flood proofing. And if you type in flood proofing in Google, you will get at least a half dozen that specialize that will do soup to nuts from design all the way through to the flood proofing certificate. So I urge you to look for one of those companies.
Right, and I had sent an email a month or two back requesting any information or any companies that you guys could recommend, and there was none that.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you know, we can't recommend any specific individual company. We're prohibited from doing that. There is, like I said, flood proofing. You type in flood proofing in Google, you will get a bunch of results.
Okay.
And, you're welcome to reach out to me and ask me, I found this, I found this, I found this, and I can tell you whether we've had experience with those companies or not.
And when he reaches out to those companies, they will still have to go through the permitting process.
They go through the permitting
process. I heard him say one company
Absolutely.
doesn't want to deal with it.
Right.
So, okay. Well,
I'll second that motion, but again here, I'll read you the right act now. 114 days you're back here hey, we're back at square one.
I understand.
Then we're going to drop the hammer on you. So I second the motion.
And please stay, so sorry, so we second the motion, correct? All right, go ahead.
all those in favor of, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, just stay in contact with the inspector.
Okay.
That's going to be very important if, when you come back here. And hopefully everything is resolved by then.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. This is a new business case. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. Property address 1318 Southwest 26th Ave. Owner Jessica Mendez. Ileana Arguello. Case number BE 25030013. Notice posted at the property on 5/20/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 7/8/25.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Mendez. Oh. Good morning. I'm Jessica Mendez. How are you guys? I'm with my sister-in-law, Kayla Mendez.
Good.
Sorry.
Good morning. Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address is read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023, 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to an addition and patio pavers in the rear property. This case was opened up on 3/4/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 3/5/2025, and the Code Enforcement Board was scheduled on 4/15/2025. I arrived at this property on 3/5/2025. I observed a new front door installed and a new white metal fence on the south side of the property. Doing research, I found that the backyard had concrete pavers throughout and 2 storage sheds in the rear yard, both unpermitted, and no permit for the front door. There are permits from the 1970s for a Florida room, for a storage room, and for the entire to enlarge the living space. And there's an old roof permit from the 70s as well, and the tile was painted blue. The roof was painted blue. I visited the property again on 4/29/2025. I met with the owner, Jessica Mendez. The two storage containers and the pool had been removed. The metal fence on the south side of the property, they stated, was installed by their neighbors, and they did not mind that it was installed incorrectly. The fence on the north side is outdated, it just painted, so the neighbors installed that as well. There is a pavement permit for the driveway back from 10/2019. There are also permits for the storage room, like I stated, and the Florida room as well. The owners were going to hire an architect and draw up and submit an application for the rest of the living space. They have submitted an application for the front door and 2 other doors, BLD-GEN 2507-0103. That's submitted already. The city is requesting the board to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 114 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Good morning. So everything that has been highlighted.
Tell me your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Kayla Mendez. Everything that has been highlighted is being removed. We have a new survey that it's in here. It was. Do you have the copy of the new survey?
No, I think you guys have the pictures that it was all removed. So right now we're speaking about the papers, or.
The only information that I have as of now is the application is your permit application for the doors.
We have
I don't have anything for the pavers yet.
Okay, so the pavers, we did go to the city to find out, and they did tell us that we either have to do like a 2.5, like, I don't know if it was like a hole or something like that, to see if the water can like go down like a drain so it's not flooding and stuff like that, because they said it's probably because of flooding issues. But our pavers can be easily removed if not. Like they're not, it doesn't have concrete or anything underneath it. They're not attached. It's grass underneath. And then he's like, we hear that a lot, so they're not sure. So when I spoke to one of the people in engineering sitting in Fort Lauderdale, he's like, they can either, if we have more, I guess, grass than paver, I guess it kind of like levels it down or something like that. I'm not really too sure. That's what we're trying to find out. That's something new. Like we did do the structures. We got all that removed, and that's when you came to the house.
Yes.
And the metal fence obviously was
Yeah,
pavers, but
understood.
other than that, like I didn't know that we had to continue. I know we did speak about it, but I didn't know that it was already on like file.
Yeah.
And then also in regards to the floor plan of the house, every engineer that we've been talking to have been charging us more than $20,000, and that's just for a floor plan. And I'm like, our house was built in 1949. Like, unfortunately, we've been there since '98, and that's how we got it.
I know that there was, I believe, 4 pieces, and I know 3 of them are permitted. I've checked records before, but there's one that's not, and that's the one in question that I'm talking about. I believe it's on the south. No, it's on the northeast side of your house.
And I think that's when we spoke about getting but they're all charging us, and we're trying to figure out we can do it ourselves, like as owners that we spoke about, but we don't know what to do. We even tried to do like the water survey when I went to the city of Fort Lauderdale, and when I spoke to the people from the survey, they told us we have no canals, we have no lakes, we have no beach around us for us to do a water survey. So now we're like, I don't know, unfortunately. I don't know.
Well, we're asking the board to okay a 114-day extension or $50 a fine thereafter, and I'm sure that I could help you the best I can, that we could remedy the backyard, and I can help you moving forward from here.
Yes, please.
You okay with that?
Yes.
All right. So I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded.
Second.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
Who seconded? Carlos. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 114 days.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Our next case is also on page 2. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 1416 Southwest 26th Ave. Case number BE 25030014. Owner Angela and Josu Cunningham. Notice posted at the property on 5/20/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard 7/8/25. This is a new business case.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This property has been cited under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1 for work without permit for aluminum shed structure, both canopy and sheds. The case was opened on March 4th, 2025. Inspection report was mailed on March 5, 2025, and notice of hearing was mailed on April 15, 2025. I have been in contact with the property owners and permits are already issued. We are asking the board to find the violation exists to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning. My name is Angela Cunningham. As the inspector said, all the permits that have been issued, we just are going to schedule the final inspection, and the boat canopy, it's been removed. And so I just spoke with him, like we can find a day he can go to the house and take the pictures for all the violations, but the permits that have been issued already. So we're just gonna schedule the final inspection for the sheds and for the aluminum structure that is done. So I asked him for the 63 days to do just the final things.
All right. I'll move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by September 23rd, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 62 days.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1742 Northeast 7th Terrace. Case number BE 24040159. Owner Christian L. Quintero Trust. Christian L. Quintero Trust. Trustee, sorry. Notice posted at the property on 6/16/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city. Case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Hi, good morning. My name is Christian Quintero. We had an issue with our first contractor. We had a problem with our driveway. The first contractor basically defaulted, and we had to restart all over again. So about a month ago, I hired a new contractor services, verified that they're registered with the city of Fort Lauderdale. They had hired, they have a group of engineers and architects. They have actually created a new survey, have made a new design. The design is about to be submitted hopefully this week, and then they're going to proceed with permits, and hopefully this situation will be solved in a timely manner.
City won't oppose to a 63-day extension.
Carlos Lang, I move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor of a 63-day extension say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Make sure you're in contact with the inspector.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our next case is on page 22. This is a hearing to impose fines. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1901 Northeast 17th Terrace, owner Timothy Barnes, homestead exempted, Haseen Nasir Al Thani, case number BE 2408-0103, notice posted at the property on 6/13/25, posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. The city is requesting to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. There is one extension noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is complied today. The city is requesting administrative cost of $1,313. I will the respondent to speak.
Timothy Bond's the owner of the house, and I agree with it, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I complied, everything's done. I made the mistake of believing someone that things were getting done when they weren't, but now everything is done.
Sorry, what was the amount? 13. I move that we reduce the fines to 1313.
Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
1313.
Our next case is on page 17. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 208 Southwest 21st Way, owner Taylor Gonzalez, case number BE 2408-0077. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case,
What page is it
17
on?
at the top.
17.
Jesus Christ. This case was first heard on 9/24/24 to comply by 1/28/25. Two sections at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are two extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Luis Gonzalez. This is Taylor Gonzalez. I'm here helping them with this process. Just to give you an update, I thought this is interesting. And I feel for all these people that run into these things. So we had to pull 14 permits to get everything we needed to get done. Some were permits, some were void, some were COCs and all that stuff. Current cost of almost $2,900 for those permits. But the good news is that we have our driveway permit approved, our ROW approved, our shed approved, our asbestos certificate done, our electrical approved, plumbing completed. The only thing we're waiting for on that perspective is mechanical, and they have all the final documents, and we should be getting that approval within days because I met with them last week. So obviously what we're looking for is an extension to cover that, and we have a pending permit for the backyard patio.
For the backyard.
Patio, that it was cemented and it's going to have to be cut and changed.
What's the city?
City is requesting for a 63-day extension.
A 63?
Yes.
I move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
Second? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 63 days it is.
Thank you.
Oh, who first and second that, please?
I second it.
Yeah.
Okay, first? Okay, Alex first and Justin second. Thank you. Our next case is on page 10. Is that Jose outside? You good, Jose? Okay. Our next case is on page 10. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 251 Southwest 21st Way. Case number BE 2408-0168. Owner, Reditus 1 LLC. Sorry for mispronouncing it. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 5/27/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There is one extension noted.
Only to check the address, 251 Southwest?
That's right.
Okay. 251 Southwest.
Okay,
41st Street.
perfect. Yeah. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complying. I will let the respondent to speak.
Hi, good morning. My name is Vanessa Garcia. And pretty much what I have to say is we have everything.
What's your relation to the property? I'm sorry.
I representing the owner. Yes. So everything was submitted, the plans, the applications and everything. So we are just pretty much waiting for the approval. Everything the city has asked me, I provided. So I'm just waiting for the approval and that's it.
The city doesn't oppose 63-day extension and stop the fines.
Stop the fines?
Yes.
I don't think there's any fines accruing.
Yeah.
Okay. 63-day
Yeah, I'll move for a
extension.
63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? 63 days it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on to 19, the hearing for the code of fines. Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 900 Northeast 16th Street, owner JBSFL Investments LLC, case number BE2308-0317. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. Two sections at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. The city is requesting to impose fines of $5,500, which continues to accrue. There is one extension noted.
Good morning, Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not complied. There are permits submitted for this case, but they have yet to be approved. I have been in contact with the owner. He is working on corrections to get these permits issued. City's requesting fines to be imposed. I'll let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Juan Bellu. I'm the owner of the property. I have been in contact with Mr. Gebbia. I had a different contractor that was hired at first, and he dropped the ball for quite some time. So I hired somebody new. I've been in contact with Mr. Gebbia since the day I hired him and had to get all new architectural plans. Everything's been submitted for quite some time now. I'm just at the mercy of the permits being approved, and we would like to move forward. I'd like to put this behind me as well. I'm not sure how long I need. The permits have been in for quite some time. I know we issued back a couple different revisions. I believe the last one was done 2 or 3 weeks ago. Once permits are approved, the new contractor is telling me should be done within 30 to 45 days. So just waiting on the permits.
I believe there was an issue with the plumbing permit and a flood, and there was an issue with flooding for another permit. Now, I'd have to recheck my records on that. But how long do you think that it could take you to possibly get these permits to be issued?
I spoke to the contractor yesterday and was told that everything has been resubmitted, and I'm not aware of flood. I was aware of mechanical, and that was submitted 2-3 weeks ago, but I'm sure I can get it done within a week or so if it.
Go back with that. I'm willing to give an extension, to stay and maybe stay the fine or not. What does the code board recommend?
Well, we would kind of rely on your recommendation.
Yeah.
Recommendation. So he said the plans the permits have all been submitted.
Yes.
And how long have they been in there waiting to be approved?
Well, they were revisions, and I'm not sure the dates on that. But since the other contractor, like he was explaining, dropped the ball, his new contract had submitted a whole, almost everything new.
Yeah, we had to hire a whole new architect. All the plans were wrong. The
So
architect had to
certainly
redo it.
it's
And
involved.
they asked for another revision from the architecture, so it's been quite a process. And I'm trying to go after the first contractor for my deposit back.
So,
63 days.
Yeah.
63 days?
Yeah. 63 days and state of fines.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion for a 63-day extension and stay the fines.
Carlos Lang, seconds that.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you.
Our next case is a new business case on page 6. At the top, property address 427 Northwest 19th Ave, case number BE 2503. Oh, I'm sorry. Inspector Severian Ionescu. Case, page 6 at the top. I'm sorry, start over. Property address 427 Northwest 19th Ave. Inspector Severian Ionescu. Case number BE 25030116. Owner Amilis Mendoza. Notice posted at the property on 5/29/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/25. One moment. Alex, can you be a translator for me, please?
Hi, good morning. My name is Mrs. Mendoza.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't need a translator?
Sorry. No.
Oh,
Go,
okay.
please.
Okay. Alex, do you swear and affirm to transfer from Spanish to English and from English to Spanish? Thank you. Okay, Severian.
Good morning. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to interior remodeling, alterations, windows and door replacement, new concrete driveway, and new fence. Also, there's a Florida room enclosure that was previously done. Comparing the listing photos with before photos, it was determined that a violation exists. The case was opened on 3/12/2025. Inspection report was mailed on 3/20/2025. Code board hearing notice was mailed on 5/20/2025. The record shows a permit for pavers, waiting client reply. There is a fence permit that was complete, and no permit is applied as of yesterday for the remodeling. The city is requesting the code board to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 114 days to come into completion or a fine of $15 per day thereafter.
15?
50. I will allow the respondent to speak.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Mendoza. Also, sorry for my English is very bad. I prefer the translate. Yo compré esa casa hace un año solamente
I purchased that property a year ago.
y todas esas cosas que ya estaban hechas. Yo solamente hice la cerca y el driveway.
All those items, most of those items were completed before I purchased the property. ¿Cuáles usted hizo?
Mrs. Mendoza.
¿Cuáles fue lo que hizo?
La cerca y el driveway.
Usted es responsable por
Sí.
What I'm responsible for is the driveway
Y la cerca.
and the fence.
Ya yo tengo el permiso de la cerca y el driveway. Ya pagué el permiso, solo no ha ido la inspección.
I already have a fence permit. I'm just waiting for an inspection.
Del driveway.
The driveway.
Sí, la cerca ya está completa.
Completado el permiso. So the fence permit is complete. I'm waiting for inspection for the paving driveway, which I have a permit for.
Este es el inspector que fue a hacerme la inspección. So, no sé qué procede, qué es lo que tengo que hacer. Estoy completamente desorientada.
I just need instructions how to proceed next.
So, she has a permit for the fence?
Yeah,
and for the driveway?
Correct. The fence permit, it's been approved, it's been complete. So the inspection's passed, and the driveway is, for pavers, it's awaiting client reply since 6/30/2025. It's awaiting client reply. So basically, there's information that the city required, and they have to provide that information back to the city.
Okay, and then the other
So there's
things...
revisions, corrections on the plans.
Okay, and then the other things, the windows and doors replacement and the
Interior remodeling. Correct.
That hasn't been touched?
Hasn't been touched yet, no.
So she still needs to apply for permits for those, correct?
She has to apply.
Okay.
Correct. So el permiso de driveway no se lo han dado. Está aplicado, pero tiene correcciones.
Okay.
Okay. So es una aplicación de permiso, no es permiso.
Okay.
¿Entiende esa
Sí,
parte?
sí, correcto.
Okay. Yeah, she understands now that she has a permit application for the paving, not an actual issued permit.
Y las ventanas, la del inspector que fue me dijo que corrigiera algunas cosas para solicitar
And as
el
far as
permiso.
the window permit, when one of the inspectors was out there, explained to her that she needs to address some comments before it can move forward.
Exacto. Solamente necesito tiempo para terminar todo el proceso.
I just need some time to complete the process.
Is she aware that there's the interior remodeling alteration has to be taken care of?
La interior, la remodelación del interior de la casa.
No, yo no tuve nada que ver. Yo la compré exactamente así como está.
I just purchased the house the
No ha
way it
cambiado
was.
absolutamente
I
nada.
haven't changed anything.
Correct, but according to the inspector, it was altered, and since you own the house now, you assume responsibility for it. So you have to get permits for that.
De acuerdo al inspector, el interior de la casa fue remodelado. Usted siendo, aunque haya sido hecho por otro dueño, usted siendo la dueña ahora, usted también es responsable por la remodelación y alteración que se hizo en el interior de la casa. ¿Entiende esa parte?
Sí.
Yes, she understands.
¿Y qué es lo que tengo que hacer? Porque
What do I need to do?
What was your recommendation?
The city recommendations is 140 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 therefore.
Her question was what she needs to do. So I think she has to maintain communication with the inspector, and he's your best point of contact. He's your best source of information, and he can help guide you in the process.
Manténgase en comunicación con el inspector. Él le va a orientar del proceso. Hoy día le van a tratar de dar una extensión para que pueda terminar su proceso.
I move that we find for the city the violation exists as alleged. We order the property owners to come to compliance by November 13th, 2025, or fine the amount of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Le van a dar
Carlos Lang seconds that.
Who seconded?
Carlos.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 114 days it is.
Was that November 13th?
November 13th.
Le van a dar una extensión hasta noviembre 13 para que haga los comentarios y después, si no está en compliance, vuelve para aquí para hacer un update, ¿ok?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alex, you have the next case. Our next case is on page 9. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 1414 East Las Olas Boulevard. Owner 1492 Las Olas LLC. Case number BE 2406-0077. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Good morning. Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit for interior alteration, including but not limited to removing ceiling at the dining and bar area, removing wiring that was concealed above ceiling, and replacing AC ducts. Master permit BLD-GEN-2408-0563 are under review pending building approval. Sub-permits have been approved. The respondent is here to speak.
Good morning. My name is Vincenzo Padula, and I'm with 1492 Las Olas LLC. And we have submitted permits. It was back and forth for a while. The asbestos review was what really took a while because it was after the fact. We had submitted that first to the Broward County, and then they requested a after the fact. So we had paid that fine and gotten the certificate about a week ago. And I think this morning they approved the building and structural permit, so I should just be in plans coordination and should be getting the permit and then calling the inspection. So I believe 2 weeks.
So what's your request?
If I can have 2 weeks, 14 days, 30 days.
City supports an extension.
Can it be completed in 35 days?
That's a reasonable request, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I move for a 35-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 35 days you have.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1009 Southwest 19th Street, case number BE 2408-0289, owner Matthew Miller Connor. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance, and I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Hello, Matthew Connor, property owner, 1009 Southwest 19th Street. I have 3 violations. The first violation, the metal shade structure was taken down. Dealt with Jorge for that. The second one is a Chicky Hut. It's building. The building permit was approved on June 19th, so last month, a month ago. It didn't pass zoning review, so I think I have to. I've been trying to meet with the zoning person in the office, but he wasn't in the morning. I guess he's in only before 11 a.m., so I have to go in probably when I can talk to him to see how I can bring that to compliance. And then the third one, it's a matter of cost, whether I should take it down or continue with the process of all the permits, because there's a list of permits for that one, and starting with flood and mechanical and all that. So.
City is requesting for a 63-day extension.
I move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
No, this one.
Any opposed?
16, 13. On page
You have 63 days.
Who seconded you that? Justin. Severius, okay, I'll come back to it, okay? Our next case is on page. You ready? You good? Okay. Our next case is on page 6. It's a new business case, property address 1613 Northwest 11th Street. Owner Elite Group Properties LLC. Case number BE 25030-159. Notice posted at the property on 5. Is there a respondent here for 1613 Northwest 11th Street?
I told him to leave the code.
Oh, you're okay.
The same guy.
Okay. All right, we'll have to call that later. Okay. Page 21. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 709 Southwest 4th Court. Case number BE 2312-0059. Owner DBAC Investments 4 LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/19/25. Posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 5/28/24 to comply by 7/30/24. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded. Complied. City is requesting to impose of $6,300.
The city is requesting an administrative cost of $2,102. I will let the respondent to speak.
Good morning, Adir Davidov, the owner. Just wanted to know if there's any way we can. Is there like a reduction that I can get on the fees?
It just gave you a reduction to $2,102.
What's your definition of a reduction?
Because I'm a new owner, there was also a different lien on the property that I have to file the whole lien reduction program. So I was wondering if there's also something we can do with this.
What's the lien from?
For this one or for
No, the
other one? It was something with the grass wasn't cut in the windows, also similar to this with the windows. So we got new windows, we got the whole master permit, everything issued. Everything is complied. But that one was like $80,000. Yeah.
Oh, was that
it was
before
like
you bought it or after you bought it?
Yeah, I just bought it in the last 9 months. So
And
this
you knew
was
you
like
bought it with a
3
lien
years
on
ago.
it?
Yeah.
What'd you do that for?
I didn't know. I didn't look at the. I had a partner that kind of screwed me, and now I'm here.
So you're able to go through that same lien reduction process again, from my understanding, after we impose the fines. That's from my understanding. The city of Fort Lauderdale might be able to chime in.
I think there's an amnesty right now, isn't there?
Yes, about 90%. So you can apply for that for the city. I don't know how long that program's running for.
Okay. So I guess I'll go to the city and try to figure it out to see for the reduction.
Carlos Lang, I move for a reduction of to $2,102.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? $2,102.
Thank you. Good day.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, one moment, please. Did you say you were going to apply for lien amnesty? Yes. Oh, well, just like, because it's reduced, it won't qualify for lien amnesty.
Oh, wait, what?
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, once it's a reduction, it doesn't qualify for lien amnesty.
Can we redo
The
that?
lien amnesty is only on the amount of fines.
Can we reduce it here then?
So my understanding is mic's off. My understanding is lien amnesty gets it down to like 10%.
Yes, but of the full amount of fines.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the reduction.
So if you apply for lien amnesty, it would be 630.
Plus any administrative costs.
Plus the $2,000.
Yes.
Okay, so.
So there's basically no reduction anything at this point, correct?
I mean, it's up to you how much you want to reduce it now, but we can't move forward with the lien amnesty on reduced
What
fines.
are administrative costs?
The only cost is the 2,100.
Okay, so you're saying that it would be reduced to 10% plus the administrative cost.
Plus administrative
Yes.
costs.
So it's not going to get less than $2,102.
No.
Okay, so this is the best deal for you.
The 10%.
Thank you.
Never mind. As good as it gets.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so
we're
what
good.
was the verdict? I'm sorry.
So he's not doing, he's taking the $2,102 and he's not going for the lien
Okay.
amnesty.
Okay. Now who first and second that? Carlos first. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, board, the city is requesting recess. Thank you.
I just realized. Our name.
Thank you for your patience.
Commissioners are there.
Our next case
You don't have one.
is on page 15, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1401 Southwest 20th Street. Owner, Miguel Maria, case number BE 24070249. Notice posted at the property on 6/16/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Turn it on.
Better?
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Miguel Maria. I'm the owner of 1401 Southwest 20th Street. We're currently working with our contractors on getting the necessary permits. Right now, we're just waiting on some comments from mechanical or flood or a combination of both in regards to the AC.
How long do you think it'll take to get it all done?
I wish I had an answer for that. I mean, we're working with the contractor. They already know the comments. I'm hopeful to get it resolved within 30 days or so we can ask for the inspections.
Let's see what.
And have you been in communication with the inspector?
Yes, I've been in communication with Mr. Martinez.
Okay, perfect. We'll wait to hear what he has to say.
Sure.
Then, yeah.
Your fate is in his hands.
I'm sorry?
Your fate is in his hands.
Yeah, no. And in yours. No, I know that.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
It's all right.
Okay, the permits have been submitted, and I've been in contact with the owner. The city won't oppose to a 63-day extension.
Carlos Lang, I move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
Second. All those in favor of 63 days, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 63 it is.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 16, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1517 Northwest 4th Ave. Owner, Aratree LLC, case number BE 24070390. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Good morning. My name is Alex Karamanoglu and Ray Perez. We're the owners of the property. It's taking a little bit longer than expected to get the paperwork to submit to the city. We have the permits in. We needed to redo the survey because it was incorrect. And it took a little longer than expected to get or secure someone to do the engineering plans. So we have secured them. So if you would allow us an additional 63 days, we should be able to button this up.
Have you been in contact with the inspector?
We have.
Yes. Too much. City won't oppose to a 63-day extension.
I have a question. With the engineer and plans, did the engineer come out and do a site survey before he drew it?
He has.
Okay, it was 63 days. With these structures coming into hurricane season, just want to make sure they're secure.
Yes.
Okay.
Carlos Lang, I move for a 63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor of a 63-day extension, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 63 it is.
Second.
Our next case is also on page 16. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1720 Southwest 22nd Ave. Owner, Leo Duplessis Revocable Trust, case number BE 24080015. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance. I'm going to let the respondent speak.
Put the speaker on. Put the button on the panel.
button.
Yes.
Got it. Here we go. Good morning. So.
Name? Who are you?
Oh, Leo Duplessis. I'm the owner at 1720 Southwest 22nd Avenue. I did not pull permits, so I did build a couple of shaded structures, which I'm busy complying with. I had to do a new land survey, which we have received. The property was part of the Port 32 construction, which kind of altered the whole property lines and everything. So I've got those. I currently have the engineering guys drawing up all the structure, the structural side of it. So I'm just waiting for them to finish their drawing so I can submit all that stuff for permits. After the fact permit.
City is requesting for a 114-day extension.
Carlos Lang, I move for a 114-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor of 114-day extension say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 21. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusi. Property address 1616 Northeast 16th Ave. Owner, Hoda Perry Realty LLC. Case number BE24080079. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. The city is requesting to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. There is one extension noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Luis Perez. I'm here to request a little more extension because we have a lot of issues with this permitting. We have to fire and hire a new architect. We have a lot of trades and department already approved. We are back and forward. We have problem with the application, some subcontractors. So we are in the very position to try to solve the issue the most in the less time that we can. So we only requesting a little more time.
Sorry, are you the owner?
I'm representing him because he's
Your name?
Luis Perez.
Okay.
Okay, so have you applied for the permits?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Have they been given to you? Have you been doing work? What's happening?
No, the problem with the property that we already bought it, the person that worked, because I'm family of the owners that he is not here, so I'm here. I'm been involved in that since the start. We bought the property, we bought it with some modifications that we found that they get an inspector. We start to solve the issues. In this moment, the problem with the permitting is that all the delaying that we have, we are trying to solve. We are cooperating with the city, with the inspectors and everything, but it's more timing. The problem here is timing.
Okay. Have you been communicating with him?
Yeah, the owner, Jose Ricardo Sigala.
Yes, Sigala, yes, but I never talked with you. The issue is the building permit, for example, are awaiting client reply since May 28, and nothing happened in between. I understand you have a new architect, but you need to move forward because this case is from last year, 24.
Yeah, I understand, and that's that we start to move in and find another architect, and we have to change some subcontractors because they have problem with all the paperwork of them, with the powers of stuff. So we're trying to solve that very fast.
Inspector, what is your recommendation?
You will need a lot of time.
I think, because we have some department already approved, I think that I know probably 16 days is going to be more than enough that we have the permit granted.
Okay. The city doesn't oppose to 63 days extension and stop the fines and mandatory appearance.
So I'll move for a 63-day extension, stop the fines, and a mandatory reappearance at the September 23rd, 2025 hearing.
Second. Who's seconding?
Second.
All those in favor of a 63-day extension say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 2. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1317 North Andrews Ave, case number BE 25.
020227.
Okay, I'm not going to call that one. Moving on to page 20, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez.
Wait.
I'm sorry, sir. Oh, he's here. He's here. Okay.
So we're on page 2?
Yes, we're on page 2. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Property address 1317 North Andrews Ave. Case number BE 25020227. Owner Miguel Antonio F. Zerbaran. Suarez Dalian Rosabal. Case number BE 25020227. Notice posted at the property on 5/22/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard, 7/8/25. This is a new business case.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This property has been cited on the Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, for work without permit. Complete renovation, including kitchen, bathroom, shed structure, and aluminum shed area in the backyard. Also spa and exterior kitchen. The case was opened in February 21st, 2025. Inspection report was mailed on March 17, 2025. Notice of hearing was mailed on March 15, 2025. I have been in contact with the property owner. We are asking the board to find that the violation exists, to grant the property owner 140 days to come in compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Can I have someone to speak in Spanish?
Sorry?
Can I have someone
Alex.
to translate?
Alexander,
Alex,
can you help
translate
please?
for me, please? For us, please.
S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît.
Yes. Do you swear and affirm to translate from Spanish to English and from English to Spanish? Thank you.
Sí, para dejarles saber que estoy trabajando en el caso y en comunicación con José Saragusti. Era mi primera propiedad, no tenía conocimiento de cómo funcionaban las cosas. Los trabajos... Okay.
¿Qué tú quieres dejarle saber que está trabajando en el caso?
Sí, yo estoy... voy a decir varias cosas en inglés que pueda decir.
Dime en español, yo le
Okay.
¿Está trabajando en el caso?
Sí, con contratista y ingeniero.
I'm working on resolving this issue. I have an engineer and a contractor.
And ellos sometieron los permisos y estoy arreglando varias cosas para...
They have applied for a permit, and I'm working on a few things too.
Para solicitar la inspección.
To request the inspections.
Que voy a necesitar una extensión.
And I'm going to need an extension.
Who is he
¿Cuál es su nombre y su título?
Miguel Fajardo.
¿Usted es el dueño? Miguel Fajardo, owner.
The owner, okay. So,
Have you been in communication with the inspector?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you said that at the beginning, yeah.
114.
Yes, we're asking the board to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 114 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded.
Ed Murphy, second.
All those in favor of 114-day extension, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 114 days.
Entendió lo que dijo, encontraron que una violación existe, tiene hasta noviembre 13 para que se ponga, para que saque sus permisos y corrija la violación o una multa de $50 por día por violación después de esa fecha.
Y ellos no han sometido, ellos me están enviando los números de permisos abiertos.
Okay.
Está en ISO, ¿no?
I only one permit, only interior alteration. All the work's done outside is nothing there.
Nada
You
de
need
lo
to
que
be
está en
sure
el
that
exterior.
they apply for those permits. The patio, the backyard, all this, the plans are for the interior alteration.
Ellos sometieron el de eso ayer y...
Sure, okay.
No.
Porque yo pensé que lo había sometido con todo lo otro y dice
Okay.
que se le había olvidado.
Okay, I will check it.
Póngase de acuerdo con el inspector. ¿Okay?
Ok, me mantendré en contacto con usted.
Okay. Okay, 140 days. Okay. Thank you.
¿Entendió?
Yeah.
114, hasta noviembre 13. 114, right? That's the
Yes.
number. 114. Noviembre 13.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Case is on page 21. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 3410 Southwest 16th Street. Case number BE 24070170. Owner Antonio LaPara Keenan, homestead exempted, Francis Keenan Jr. Notice posted at the property on 6/19/25, posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. The city is requested to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. There is one extension noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
You turned it off. Hit it again.
You really don't need it with my voice. Anyway, my name is Antonia Lupari Keenan. I am the owner of 3410 Southwest 16th Street. I have literally been harassing the contractor. Harassing. Unfortunately, I have been a victim of scam more than one time, and I'm not really happy about it. However, he has informed me that a permit was pulled for the driveway. Okay, there's a shock. I've gotten more excuses than, I'm going to make you laugh, Carter's got liver pills. However,
I know that one.
that explains my age. Anyway, I am at a wit's end. I have, the last time I was supposed to be here, I had COVID. I have continually, he's laughing. I have continually tried to I can show you the emails, the texts, every day, literally, I'm harassing him. The last excuse was his grandmother died. Okay, you know what? I'm a nurse. I've heard more excuses than anybody in the world can ever tell you. And so I am at my wit's end. I don't know where to go from here. I've threatened that I was going to get a lawyer. I've threatened that I'm going to report him to the DBR. I don't know what else to do. I mean, so the permit was not pulled.
In the records,
For the driveway.
It's not any permit.
Say again?
In the records,
Okay.
In the
Well,
city
if there
record,
was a
we don't
permit
have
pull-
any permit issue.
So if there was a permit pulled this past week, you would know about it. Is that not
Yes, of
correct?
course.
Okay.
Yes.
So there again, he keeps
Also, I
blowing.
need to review the application, the permits.
Right. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to go. I have another house that I'm trying to go to, which takes me out of Broward County. I don't know what to do here.
Okay, I have
So-
a question.
Yes, sir.
So it says a garage conversion into AC area. What is that?
Yeah, so there was a garage door, and because the house next door from me, as I was getting rodents in the house all the time that were burrowing through to my kitchen. So I closed it. He guaranteed me he had permits.
Okay.
So no, and it's literally just the closure. It's still really kind of used as a storage area. It was just to prevent these rodents from coming in my house. Well, since then, the house has been occupied by Airbnb. But so that's kind of like stopped. But yeah, I still have this. I have the enclosure, and no, the room is not furnished, but it still leaves the addition that needed to be permitted, including the driveway.
Okay. So you had a garage.
Yes, sir.
And you enclosed it.
Yes, sir.
Is what I'm understanding. So there's a wall there.
There's a window and a wall.
A window and a wall.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The garage door is gone, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So yeah. And when did you have that done?
Maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, possibly.
At that time, did you think that you needed a permit to do anything?
Yeah. I told. So I contracted him. Actually, I'm going to go back just a little bit. I had somebody come to the house to contract a driveway. He came to my house and said he needed $2,500 to get the permit, well, long story short, he took off my $2,500. So I called the owner of this guy, supposedly, and he said, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it for you. We'll put the $2,500 into the job that I'll do for you. Okay, fine. I told him, A, it's the front of the house. B, I want the wall done. So you need to get a permit. He guaranteed me he was getting the permit. No, it's my fault. I did not check to make sure that these things were done. I didn't know he never pulled the permit until I got the suspension or the letter that said that these things were not permitted. So then I contacted him again and I said, what are we doing here? I told you needed a permit. This is not the way it's done here in Fort Lauderdale. It needs to be done. So he said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. This is going on since January. Now I'm at my wit's end. So I don't know where to go with this, but as much as I like seeing you all, I really don't have time to be doing this all the time. This should have been taken care of when he put the driveway in, when he put the wall in.
Okay. So we don't want to see you either, quite honestly. That's the nicest way of saying it.
I know.
But you have to put your foot down and go report him to the agency up in Tallahassee, whatever. You're too nice to believe these people that you give them $2,700 to do a job and they haven't done anything.
Took off with my money.
So I mean, what are you going to do? You have to report them, and because this is pending. This is real.
I agree. You know, I mean, you can't do things and not pay the piper, as my dad used
So
to say.
I would say start with getting in contact with the inspector and maybe have yourself,
I have.
the contractor all maybe on the same email chain, so no one's in the dark, and
Okay.
start the process and see whatever permits need to be done and to correct this issue.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Sargusi knows me well.
Yeah.
And if you can't get him to do it, you might have to hire someone else. I mean, we have to get it done, but
And you have to report these people, the last two people. It seems like there's two.
Well,
okay, you have to get it done.
Right.
So
I got you.
we know
I
what we have to do.
understand.
So what was your recommendation?
The city doesn't oppose 63 days extension and stop the fines.
I'll
All
move
right.
to stop the fines and a 63-day extension.
Second.
All those in favor of 63-day extension, say aye.
Aye. Thank
Any
you very
opposed?
much. I hope
Thank
not
you.
to see you again.
I don't want to see you.
On the street is good.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, who first and second that, please?
A second.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1617 Southwest 5th Street. Owner, Broward Luxury Properties LLC, case number BE 2404.
What page are we on? I'm sorry.
20 2404-0208. Notice posted at the property on 6/18/25, posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 9/24/24 to comply by 1/28/25. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. The city is requested to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. Case is still not in compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Hey, how are you? My name is Limay Gonzalez. I'm the general contractor working on this project. And I have also a document that allows me to represent him. The only thing we had pending that was approved yesterday was the development and environment review. Told me that we need to apply for a general resource with the Broward County, different from Fort Lauderdale. And finally, after a couple weeks waiting, yesterday we received the approval. The lady at the office, the one wrote all my documents, submitted today, this morning, to the Fort Lauderdale city about this dock. That was the only thing missing. And also, we submitted also the NOA approval for the fence that was pending. I was a note that was pending on the garage that was like detailing that we already submitted again. He write something backward. Everything is submitted. Just for now, it's just need a couple of days to get the approval from the city to do all the inspection and complete this project.
Okay, so as I'm understanding, there's a concrete pool deck, a new dock, windows, doors, electrical, bathrooms, kitchen, chain link fence.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, that was a house, just to give you a little bit ahead of that, a house that my friend bought it. He did the close on June 30 last year.
Right.
But after 2 months, he applied for the Airbnb, to put the house on Airbnb. And then we received a response from the Airbnb office that, when you apply to the city, that there was a violation code on the house. And we was like, what happened? And then when we went back there, the violation was from May 1st, 2 months before the closing, when we buy the property. We were screwed on that. We contacted the realtor and the closing company because they were supposed to do a title search and all that stuff. They say they didn't find and they didn't see anything. When we hire a lawyer to sue them, they go back and forth because at the end we find out that the same closing company is the owner of the same realtor in commitment with the same one has the house. And they screw us completely. That's why they get technically it was a good deal for us, but at the end we were screwed because they did everything without permit. That's why we're fighting on this to get everything done, the right way in order to solve this.
So we first heard this in September of last year. What's been happening? What's been going on?
Okay, for the first 4 months, we were dealing with the engineer and doing the drawing, design, all that stuff. The first one we hired, get 3 months and never did anything. At the end, we submit everything to you guys by the end of December, I believe. And then on all this year, the last 6 months has been back and forth. I've been in touch with Jorge Martinez, back and forth. For example, the dock need the environmental because it's in the water, some stuff like that. The enclosure of a garage needs some documents, NOA approval that we were missing. All but at the end we get everything done, and we submit the last three things were, accomplished on the last couple days. Now I only need a couple days to wait for Lauderdale City to approve what was the last thing that were submitted. The master permit, I think, is also done. Everything is done. The windows, everything.
Now, let's hear from you.
Yeah. City won't oppose to a 63-day extension and to the state the fines.
Do I have a motion?
Did it need 65?
63 days.
63.
Do I have a motion for
No, it has
63
to be
days?
63.
I move for a 63-day extension and to hold the fines.
Ed Murphy, second.
All right. All those in favor of 63 days, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have 63 days.
Thank you so much. I hope that finally we get this out.
I want to see you again.
You'll be back.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 10. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 4831 Northwest 9th Terrace. Case number BE 24070360. Owner Kesley Sterling, Sedilius and Victor Sterling. Notice posted at the property on 6/16/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Thank you. I'm the architect and contractor. The carport enclosure
What's your name?
is.
Can you state your name?
Frank Smith. So I did a code compliant redo of the carport enclosure, and that permit has been submitted. It's been reviewed once and probably be out within 60 days. In the meantime, I just found out from Jose that we can remove the non-compliant enclosure without a permit. So in the meantime, we will remove that, and then we will be done with you folks, and we'll proceed with getting the other enclosure done with the permits and inspections as we need to. And so requesting a 60-day extension, please.
Okay, the city doesn't oppose to 63 days extension and stop the fines.
There are no fines going, from my understanding, so I'll just move for the 63-day extension and just stay in contact with the.
A second. Justin Beechey.
Oh, very good. All those in favor, 63-day extension, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? 63 days you have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, board, this concludes all of our respondents. Going back to page 1, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 2730 Southwest 17th Street, case number BE 25030153, owner HPA US1 LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/19/25, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard 7/8/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the City, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation 105.1, Florida Building Code 2023. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to the enclosure of a garage, altered sliding glass door, and the remodel of a bathroom without permits. The case was opened 3/8/25. Inspection report mailed 3/27/25, and board hearing notice made 5/13/25. During my investigation, I obtained evidence that this home was remodeled, including the above-mentioned violations. Our records show no permits for this work. The city is requesting that the board find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 114 days to come in compliance, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
All right, I I move that we fine for the city and the violation.
Okay, well, hold on. So I'm concerned. We've cited them. You haven't been in contact with them at all?
No.
No. So we're giving them 3 months, 4 months until October, November. Should we give them less time so they get some stuff going? Or otherwise, it's just going to languish more.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
The boys filed, they didn't even show up.
Yeah, they didn't even show up.
Terry.
So,
How about a mandatory appearance too?
Yeah.
While we're at it.
35 days mandatory appearance, and if there, then we'll start fines. I mean, if there's no communication.
So it's new business, so we have to do the new business thing, but...
Send a message.
Yeah, let's send the message. There's a lot going on here.
Okay.
So let me hear the motion, please.
Alex, are we doing it?
Go for it. I move that we fine for the city and the violation exists as alleged, that we order the property owners to come into compliance by August 26, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded. And we would also like to include a mandatory appearance.
Second. Justin Beecham. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also on page 1, Senior Inspector Jose Satagusti, property address 1304 Northeast 16th Terrace, owner Martin Quinnett, case number BE 250107172. Notice posted at the property on 5/22/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This property has been cited under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.1, for duplex converted into a triplex. The case was opened on January 21st, 2025. Inspection report was mailed on March 6, 2025. Notice of hearing was mailed on April 15, 2025. No application in this property, and I have been in contact with the property owner. We are asking the board to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 114 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
You say you have been in contact with the property owner?
Yes, yes.
And did they know they were supposed to be here today?
Yes, he knows.
Well, let's do less than 114 days.
114 days is a lot of time to give these people
to kick the can down the road.
to kick it down the road. Let's move it along. All right, so I'm not supposed to suggest.
I will make a motion, since I can tell the vibe in the room. I move that we find for the city the violation exists alleged. We order the property owners to come into compliance by August 26, 2025, or a fine in the amount of $50 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
Justin Beecham, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Let's go. Next.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to page
We're
3,
in contact though.
Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property
What page?
address 1517 Northeast 5th Terrace, owner
What page is
3,
that?
owner Blue Moon Residence LLC, case number BE 25030093. Notice posted at the property on 5/27/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard, 7/8/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to water heater installation. This case was opened on 3/10/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 3/12/2025. Code board hearing was scheduled on 5/13/2025. On 3/12/2025, I received a phone call from code officers on Jean-Claude Noel regarding this property doing interior renovations. He gave me the phone number of the tenant. His name was Mike. I contacted Mike and set up a meeting at his unit, which is number 2. He invited me in to look at the new water heater installed. He did not have a water heater for 1 week. He had no hot water for 1 week before this. They took it out and then they never replaced it, and they came back and put a new one in. He also showed me a new upgraded electrical panel, which was permitted. Excuse me?
No. Listen.
Oh. The water heater was not permitted. I have been in contact with a management company representing this complex, and they have submitted a plumbing permit, PLB-GEN 2506-0194, and it is currently in review. The city is requesting the code board to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance, or $50 a day thereafter.
I move that we fine for the city and the violations this as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come to compliance by 9/23/2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Ed Murphy, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next.
Our next case, at the bottom of page 3, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 6301 Northeast 20th Terrace. Case number BE 24030113, owner Salvatore Coppola. Notice posted at the property on 5/30/2025. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7/8/2025.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to. The pool coping stones have been replaced, and there's a retaining wall at the back of the property. The city will request 114 days to comply, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Has the respondent been in contact with you?
No.
Has that seawall been altered at all? Is the
Sorry?
retaining wall, did they just make the changes, or did they do anything to the seawall?
No, the seawall, no.
It's not a seawall, it's just the back wall of the property.
Yes.
Retaining wall.
The retaining wall. Okay.
I think we need to do a 30-day and a mandatory appearance like we did a minute ago. Ed, do you want to take this one?
Wait, has any attempts been made to get permits for this?
Sorry?
Any attempts to
No.
get a permit?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
That's, and okay, what is the pool coping stones? What are those?
Is the
Perimeter of the
Those
Yeah.
blocks there, pavers.
What?
Just the top edge of the pool
The
wall.
white thing around the pool?
Can't really see it from here, but it's the area around the pool opening.
Right. And does that dock look safe? It doesn't look so safe.
We're not in there.
Right, we're not doing that.
Yeah, that doesn't look too structurally sound. Look at the rust on the pipes, too.
Okay.
Rusty pipes.
So, is it?
Let's make a motion, somebody.
Yep.
Okay. Ed, do you want to take this one, new guy?
Put them on the spot, huh?
Yeah.
So, what does the inspector recommend? How many days?
30 days with mandatory appearance. 35.
114.
I move that we find for the city the violations exist alleged at the order of the property owner to come into compliance by August 26, 25. Fines to be $50 a day, and a mandatory appearance for next meeting.
Per day per violation.
Justin Beecham, second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? 35 it is.
Our next case is on page 4, property address 1505, Southwest 9th Street, owner Floyd R. Lazar. Case number BE 25020184, notice posted at the property on 5/22/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 17/25.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to. carport has been enclosed without permits. The city will request 114 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. They already applied for the permit and they have been in contact.
They have been in contact.
Yes.
Okay, we'll let this one go.
Jack, you want to take this one?
Okay. I move that we fine for the city and the violations exist as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by, where are we? How many days did we say?
November 13th.
By November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done.
Hey, AV guys, my microphone's on the fritz here, man.
What?
You can steal that one.
At the bottom of page.
They left that one.
He's got the magic touch.
They left that one on.
Bottom of page 4, property address 204 Southwest 19th Ave, owner Bart and Lisa Florida, LLC, case number BE 25020188. Notice posted at the property on 5/22/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/2025.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: kitchen and bathroom remodel, the recess lights. The city will request 114 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Have they been in contact?
Yes, they have. They wanted to come here, but they were out of the country.
Oh, okay.
Motion?
Rock and roll, August.
I move to fine for the city and the violation exists and alleged, and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 6/26/25.
No.
No.
No, October 13th.
11/13.
9/23.
No. 2025.
25. And the amount $50 per day per violation that will impose and record it.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Go. Done.
Next.
All right, ready.
Property address, page 5. Property address 2961 Southwest 13th Court, case number BE 25020245. Owner John A. Harris, homestead exempted Jeanette E. Harris. Notice posted at the property on 5/22/25, posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: roof structure on the back of the property and a shed. The city will request 114 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. They already have applied for the permit.
Cool. Have they been in contact with you?
Yes.
Make a motion, please.
I move that we fine for the city and the violations exist as alleged, and that we move the order of the property owner to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or the fines of $50 per day per violation will be imposed and recorded.
Second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done.
Property address 445 Northeast 11th Ave, owner 445 Northeast 11th Avenue, LLC, case number BE 25020276. Notice posted at the property on 5/22/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: foundation work has started without permit issuance. That one is complied, and they have a perimeter wall. They already have permits for that one. The city will request 114 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So a question here. So there's a foundation work was started without permit?
That's complied.
That's complied?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So it's just a perimeter wall.
And they already have the permits for that.
Okay. Have you been in contact with them?
Yes.
Okay. And this was started in February?
Make a good time.
Yes.
I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day. Violation would be imposed and recorded.
Ed Murphy, second.
Who seconded?
Ed Murphy.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes. Can I ask you a question? Why is it, we're just getting this case, it was started in February. How come we're just now seeing this?
I have to check. I can get you.
I mean, I'm just wondering.
Wheels of justice move slow.
Normally the process is around 3-4 months between the inspection report, the final notice, the next hearing, and if the hearing is full, we have to bump it to the next one.
Okay.
Suburban.
Page 6, Inspector Severian Ionescu, case number BE 25030159, property address 1613 Northwest 11th Street, owner Elite Group Properties LLC. Notice posted at the property on 5/29/25, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard 7/8/25.
Severian Ionescu, building inspector for the city. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining required permits in the following manner, but not limited to complete interior alteration. I visited the property on June 24 with the owner, and I observed several upgrades, including alteration to the bathrooms, kitchen, installation of hi-hats, a new tankless water heater, updated plumbing for the washer and dryer, and the replacement of the windows in the rear of the property and the family den. This case was opened on 3/17/2025. Inspection report was sent on 3/19. Code board hearing was scheduled on 5/13. There are permits with correction needed. The city is required that the code board finds that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 114 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Has the property owner been in contact with you?
Yeah, he was here this morning. Just I told him he can leave because they had an emergency.
Make a motion.
I move that we find for the city and the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by 11/13/2025, or a fine of $50 per day or per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes.
Our next case is on page 7, property address 517 Northwest 16th Ave, case number BE 25030161, owner Anani Johnny Julian Bassard. Anani Julian Johnny Bassard. Notice posted at the property on 5/29/25, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard 7/8/25.
Severian Ionescu, building inspector for the city, presenting the case as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 105.41. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to complete interior renovation, including structural, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, new air conditioning units, and windows and doors, and a possible Florida room enclosure. This case was opened on 3/17/2025. Inspection report was mailed on 3/18/2025. Code board hearing notice was mailed on 5/13/2024. The record shows no permit application for this work. I was in contact with the owner, and they said that they already hired contractor and architect. The city is requesting that the code board find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 114 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $50 thereafter.
I move that we find for the city the violations exist and alleged, and that we order the property owners to come into compliance by November 13th, 2025, or amount of $50 per day violation would be imposed or recorded, and that at the next meeting, the owners should attend.
I just want to, is there a particular reason they weren't here today?
Excuse me, say that again?
Is there a reason they weren't here today that they gave you, or?
This was the same guy from the case before.
Oh.
He had about 3 properties, so
Okay.
this is the last one.
Oh, yes. So wait, let's see.
I'm sorry, have they applied for any permits? I didn't get that far.
No, on this one they did not apply for anything as of now.
So why are we giving them so much time?
Because they're gonna need all this time for all this permits. So it's
We might need to motivate them and get them started earlier.
Usually you guys are the bad guys, okay? And we're the good guys, okay? But I think we both have to play together on this and motivate them to bring their butts in here and get some stuff done.
Because if they wait till 114 days and then ask for another extension, then
Right,
we keep
you
kicking
know,
it down.
we have to give them a
No,
Christmas
I think
gift.
in this case they are motivated because the guy already sold the house, and the new owner lives in the house. So
Well, they shouldn't have a problem
So
getting
there
started a
isn't-
little earlier.
yeah,
There's an open motion
it's up to
right
you
now.
guys. You're the
modify the
decision
motion,
makers.
or
Well, I would, Alex, I would second as is with the recommendation from the inspector, but if you want to propose a new
So what is the original motion?
114 days.
and a mandatory.
And a mandatory visit on the next meeting, at that meeting.
And it's been seconded?
Yeah, and I'll second that motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll be nice.
So,
Yep.
the motion that was on the table was 114-day, it was November 13th, 2025, or a fine of $50 per day.
And a mandatory.
And a mandatory reappearance?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ed proposed the motion, I second.
Our next case is on page 8. Senior Inspector Preston Mark. Property address 1410 Northwest 19th Ave. Owner Josie Villard Leonard Theodore. Case number BE 24040211. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There is one extension noted.
Preston Mark, Bill Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not complied. The records show no permits have been issued for these violations. I left a message for the owner and contractor recently on July 16th. I've had no response. The city will not support any further extensions and will move to schedule this case for imposition of fines.
Good move. Any comments? It goes to
Have we
Massey.
had any contact with the owners? You said you spoke to the contractors. Did we speak to the owners?
I've had contact with the owner and the contractor in the past, but my recent email message to them was on July 16th, and I've had no response.
And they've not pulled any permits or anything.
No permits yet.
Massey it is.
So,
Okay, next.
Hi, sorry to the panel. If you don't mind, it's not a super emergency, but a bit of one with my dad, and I need to talk to the hospital. Can I leave early today? Thank you.
No, you have to stay here now.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kimberly. Our next case is at the bottom of page 8. Senior Inspector Alexandra Boris.
How many more do we have to go? Can we go to the bathroom?
What happened?
We have a lot to go.
Property address 1136 Wyoming Avenue. Case number BE 24040109. Owner Angel J. Lugo. Notice posted at the property on 6/16/25. Posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There is one extension noted.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address is read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit for interior alteration, including but not limited to kitchen and bathrooms. Additionally, all windows and door replacement, new concrete driveway at front of the property, new concrete deck at the rear of the property, new accessory structure / pergola at the rear west side of the property. Violation remains at this time. This case is where the owner purchased the home before the violation was discovered, and there is sufficient evidence indicating that the work was performed prior to current owner's ownership. The owner has been in communication and appears to be willing to resolve this issue. Since the last extension, all required inspections related to the window permit BLD-GEN-24120625 have been approved and the permit is now complete. Additionally, the owner has now submitted 3 separate permit applications for the remaining required permits. The owner also informed me that they will not be able to take the time off from work today, and therefore this is why they are not here at the hearing. Considering that there is sufficient evidence indicating that the work was performed prior to the current ownership, the city supports an extension to allow the owner time to obtain the remaining pending permits.
How much time?
At least 63 days? Okay.
I'm going to move for 114
It looks
days.
like a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to move for 114
Yeah,
day
there's
extension.
quite a little bit
So
still.
114?
Okay.
I'll second Carlos Lang, I'll second a 114-day extension.
All those in favor of 114 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 114 it is. Bathroom break.
At this time, we're taking a 5-minute recess.
5.
5 minutes? Okay. Our next case is on page 9. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Property address 807 Southwest 14th Court. Case number BE 24070006. Owner Lincoln Sports and Entertainment LLC. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1, work without permit for re-roof, a chimney that was removed, interior renovations, including but not limited to kitchen. Violation remains at this time. The record showed permit application BOD-GEN-25050781 was submitted on May 29th, 2025. We still don't have a permit application for the re-roof. At this time, the permit application status is waiting client's replies. The after-the-fact plan review was not approved because it was deficient on certain items. And we have not had any communication with the contractor since June 16th.
I've never heard of a chimney removed. How do you go about doing that properly?
The first thing to do is consult with an engineer.
Yeah.
And that's one of the items that was missing on their plans. They don't have specifications for the removal of the chimney.
Like it's just the outside, or
Yeah, it sounds haphazard. I mean,
We don't know. All we know is that we haven't been inside the property, but the Google Street View and aerial photographs show there was a chimney structure there, and when the re-roof was done illegally, the chimney is no longer there. So that's one of the things we want to know what happened.
Any possible safety issues?
Anything's possible with unpermitted work.
Okay.
Very profound.
I'll leave the board make that decision.
Have they been in contact with you and whatnot?
There was some communication some time ago with the owner. Owner handed it over to the contractor. We haven't had any recent other than the submittals that they had, and so the latest communication has been through the portal in the form of comments when the city's requested additional information on their permit package.
So this is residential?
Residential, yes.
And we don't know why they're not here today.
Correct. I don't know why they're not here today.
So I'll put a motion. I'll move for a 35-day extension with a mandatory reappearance.
Second, Ed Murphy.
Got that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 35 mandatory.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 10, property address 1315 Southwest 22nd Terrace. That's you. Owner, Joseph William Cooper III, Katira Nicole Smalls. Case number BE 24040142. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25. Huh? Okay, you got to go up there and say it because you didn't tell us beforehand. This case was first heard on 9/24/24 to comply by 1/28/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not comply. There are 3 extensions noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, present the case as read. The case is complied.
Thank you.
Nice.
Property address 1324 Northwest 5th Ave. Case number BE 24060063. Owner, Sasenarin Ishwar Jr. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 1/28/25 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. The city is requesting the case returned as a MASI.
Okay.
Has there been
Massey.
any communication with the owner?
at the beginning of the case. After that, nothing.
Massey, yeah.
Massey it is. Bye-bye. Next.
Moving on to page 11, property address 724 Northeast 16th Street, owner Lyons and Company LLC, case number BE 24090136. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not compliant. The city is requesting the case returned as a Massey.
Massey. And any communication with the owner?
Yes, I received a call. We talked with them, but there are permits awaiting client reply since April.
Okay.
They don't
Massey.
care.
That's right.
Massey.
Come on, Jorge.
At the bottom of page 11, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 301 Southwest 2nd Street, case number BE 231-00214, owner 1129 Van Brunt LLC, 129 Van Brunt GP LLC, and all others. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 9/24/24 to comply by 3/25/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There is one extension noted.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city. Case number and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for the case to come back as a Massey.
And yeah, any communication with the owner?
At the beginning, yes.
This is the commercial building, isn't it?
I'm not sure. This was originally a co-worker's case. It's a wall.
It's a fence. Why? I mean, okay, it's Massey, so no discussion on it.
Page 12, property address 807 Southwest 25th Street, case number BE 2403-0004, owner Brian McSwain. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard 7/8/25. This case was first heard on 7/30/2024 to comply by 9/24/2024. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 4 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city. Case number and address as read. Case is still not in compliance. The city is requesting for a 63-day extension. The gentleman hired an architect. They submitted permits, and we're just waiting for the permit to be issued.
Yeah, I remember this guy, right? Yeah, he had the
Yes.
breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna move for the 63-day extension.
Second. And the fines freeze.
No,
Or
there's no
continue?
fines. No, well, there's no fines yet. No. So, we're at 63 days?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Can we refresh? What was this case? I'm seeing extensions that almost a year ago. So, what was this case about? Or
This is the gentleman that had a crisis here, a mental crisis.
okay, yes, I remember.
Yeah, him.
We don't touch those. 63 days. All those in favor of 63-day extension, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done. 63 days.
I'm sorry, we didn't get that. Who first and second?
I second it.
Thank you. Page 13, property address 1236 Northwest 16th Street. Owner 1236 Northwest 16th Street Land Trust, IAG Foundation, Inc. Trustee. Case number BE 24040187. Notice posted at the property on 6/12/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 9/24/24 to comply by 1/28/2025. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city. Case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for the case to come back as a Massey.
Massey.
Yeah, any communications with the owner?
No contact, no permits, no nothing.
Can I ask you a question? So this is on 16th Street?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a regular house in like a mother-in-law's cottage. It's right around the corner from me.
they've been doing, it was supposed to be torn down.
This property?
Yeah, it was supposed to be torn down. It was for a demo. And I watched it starting to come back up, and people are living in it now. Oh, yeah, go to Massey.
Damn their time.
I watched it. I walked my dog over there.
Okay, bottom of page 13, property address 940 Southwest 28th Street, owner Hurliston L. Bargman, case number BE 2405-0117. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 3/25/2025 to comply by 7/22/2025. Two sections at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for a 63-day extension. I've spoken with them, I've been in contact with them, and they have a permit, submitted the permit already.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move for a 63-day extension. Alex Schneider.
Carlos Lang, I'll second that.
Thank you.
All those in favor of 63 days, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done.
Okay. At the bottom of page 15, property address 930 Southwest 29th Street, A-D, case number BE 24070342, owner Zad Quill Inc. Notice posted at the property on 6/13/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard, 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 3/25/25 to comply by 7/22/25. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Inspector Martinez, updating case on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for the case to come back as a Massey. There's no permit application and no contact with the owner.
Massive.
Silence is golden. Okay. Moving on.
Moving on to page 19. Property address 403 Southwest 17th Street. Case number BE 2308-0336. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris. Owner Trista Boyenga. Notice posted at the property on 6/18/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 3/26/2024 to comply by 5/28/2024. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded. Comply. The city is requesting to vacate the final order from 3/26/2024 and order imposing a fine of 1/28/2025. There are two extensions noted. So, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, so once we approve the order to vacate the final orders, then the case will be closed.
Is that us?
Yes.
So we have to make a motion to
Yes,
vacate
to vacate the previous order.
the previous order of 3/26/24?
Yes.
Okay. And
The
then-
final order from 3/26/24
That was reading,
and the order imposing the fine for 1/28/25.
Is that two motions? Or
Yes, that's two.
It's going to be two motions.
I'll make a motion to vacate the final order on March 26, 2024.
Ed Murphy, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Next.
And then
The fine, how much is the fine? 10 grand?
Yep.
Is the city went full? Huh?
But he wants to know how much it is. How much are we abating? 10,200? 10,200.
Fine, so it's already abated?
Yeah, it will wipe
Okay.
out everything.
All right, we're good then.
Okay,
So we have to make a motion.
Motion to
Yes.
vacate the order imposing the fine from January 28th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Done.
Thank you.
So now, exactly what just happened there?
Do we have any backstory on that, Alex? Yes, please. Yeah. Just for the record.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city. So initially, it was brought to our attention that, well, not initially, after the fact, was brought to our attention that based on information provided by the owner, it was determined that the repairs to this property appear to have been related to the flood event disaster. Additionally, the previous communication with the previous inspector, the owner was, there was a contractor that was trying to get a permit, and it was a long story, but at the end what happened was the owner sent in a letter explaining in detail how the contractor took advantage of the situation. She now came forward and began addressing the situation. She got all her required permits, by the way, like may qualify for permit fees to be waived. She got all her permits, all their inspections. The case was complied, but because it was due to the natural flood event when the repairs began in the first place on permanent work, it was determined that we're going to support to vacate the order.
So we were nice guys.
We do what we can all the time.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Good.
That's
Thank you.
nice. That's nice. Next.
At the bottom of page 19, property address 1301 Northwest 7th Terrace, owner Robin D. Cooper, case number BE23120073. Notice posted at the property on 6/9/2025. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard, 7/8/2025. This case was first heard on 5/28/2024 to comply by 7/30/2024. One section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied. The city is requesting to impose fines of $2,800, which continues to accrue. There are 4 extensions noted. It's not on your mic.
Inspector Martinez updating case on behalf of the city. Case number and address as read. Case is not in compliance. The city will request a 114-day extension. This is the metal fence. The lady has been having some hardship in her life.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
The driveway lady. She had a driveway or something to do, didn't she?
No, just the
That's
fence.
another one.
Oh, no.
Okay.
This is the other one.
Oh, I got you.
So what's your recommendation?
114 days.
I make a motion to grant 104, stopping the fines as well?
Yes.
Make a motion to stop the fines and grant a 114-day extension on compliance.
Second. Ed Murphy.
Don Carney is first.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Page 20, property address 37 Castle Harbor Isle, owner Judy Wade, case number BE23120111. Posted at the property on 6/18/20. Order recorded, not complied. City is requesting to impose fines of $2,750, which continues to accrue. There are
She hired another contractor, so she's trying, but it's been, this case was open on 12/19/2023.
23.
Yeah, December.
Okay, you said she had did you say she had a
heart attack, yeah.
Is this who you just told us?
No, that's another lady.
So we've seen her, I guess, a few times.
No. I think she hasn't come here.
She's never come.
I think no.
That's about to give me a heart attack.
So what is the city recommending?
City, what are you recommending?
We're going to pose fines, right?
Well, the city is requesting for fines to be imposed,
Yeah.
He's requesting for the fines to be imposed.
So,
but it's on
Go
the
to
board
Massey.
to decide.
well, this is green, so it's we either extend it or
No.
it goes to Massey.
No.
This is a Massey.
It is a Massey. Okay.
Is this lady who went like radio silent on you?
Sorry?
Is she been talking to you at
Yes,
all?
yes. the lady and the contractor, both of them have been in contact with me.
So what's the holdup then? Just financial hardship?
One of the permits, the pavers are on the setback, and I don't think they're gonna get it. So they're trying.
But they're actually making an effort to do
Yes,
something, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been since 2023, man.
We'll be
I mean, is she a nice lady?
Yes, very nice.
She's very, I mean...
So, okay, I say we move this 63-day extension, and we will hold the fines.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are nice guys after all. We are nice guys.
I tried to encourage you.
And
I tried to stay.
We would like to have all the cases listed on page 23 into the record as closed.
Go.
Yeah, motion to move all the cases on page 23 into the record as closed.
Carlos Lang seconds that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
What's that for May?
Minutes?
Minutes from the last hearing, which was May's hearing.
Motion to approve the minutes from the May 2025 board meeting.
Second.
Yes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Is there
Okay.
any business for the city?
Lunch. This is 3 hours. We were here 3 hours. 3 hours. Come on.
I agree. Okay, noted. This concludes our July 22nd, 2025 Code Enforcement Board hearing. Thank you.
Fabulous. Let's go to cocktails. Let's go have cocktails.